Kính thưa quý vị, tiếp nối bản tin đêm nay, xin mời quý vị theo dõi buổi phỏng vấn với thị trưởng thành phố San Jose là ông Sam Licardo dành riêng cho Đài Việt Today liên quan đến trận lụt vừa qua tại San Jose do phóng viên Ngọc Thúy thực hiện.
Ngọc Thúy xin kính chào quý vị khán giả. Thưa quý vị, hiện tại Ngọc Thúy đang có mặt tại văn phòng của thị trưởng thành phố San Jose, ông Sam Licardo. Hello, Mr. Mayor.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be with you, Thúy.
Thank you for the interview today. I have heard a lot of complaining from the flood victims. They say that the price to fix their house was raised, was changed by the contractor. Do we have any plan or any solution for this?
We know it's been very challenging, certainly for many renters, but also for homeowners. For contractor fraud, we've directed our city attorney to begin to bring lawsuits against contractors that are engaging in what we call unfair business practices, that are gouging people with very high prices after a disaster like this one. We also have nonprofit organizations like Rebuilding Together and Habitat for Humanity that are helping homeowners that are strapped for cash in actually doing the construction for them, and they're bringing out teams of volunteers to help.
So how far is the process to get help from the government or from the city?
Well, we have a lot of different programs to help people with different needs. We know it's a different need in each case. We are helping homeowners, as I mentioned, through some of those programs, also through federal small business assistance loans to homeowners that they can use to help rebuild. And those are very inexpensive loans. Renters, we know, are much more challenged because they're already in a very precarious position financially. Certainly the donations we've raised from the community now with more than 3,000 donors has been very helpful. Obviously, the much publicized contribution from Q Huang has been extraordinarily helpful. And we're helping renters with case management directly with Catholic Charities. And we're helping them with first month's rent or a security deposit or in other ways. For example, we're also soliciting donations of used cars and trucks through Goodwill, and then identifying those who need to replace their vehicles. So there are a lot of different programs, and we're trying to do the best we can to coordinate it in a way to get people help quickly.
So for certain program, is this only one-time help, or can they ask for another help in the future?
They have, many of the renters in particular have caseworkers through Catholic Charities, and they're responsible for addressing their needs over the period of time until they get on their feet. Once everybody is in stable housing and they're on their feet, then they're out of the program. But we want to make sure everybody is helped until they get back to a place of stability.
So how is the situation of the flood victims right now? Will they get any help from the government?
They're getting help in different ways, and we know it's very, very challenging. We still have more than 400 families that are still displaced, and we need to get them in stable housing. And so the city is helping in some cases with loans where we're able to do that. Many of the mobile home owners, for example, are getting $5,000 grants to help deal with some of the challenges they have. And we're helping also to try to get folks to those agencies and organizations that can help them. Sacred Heart, for example, was involved in cutting checks initially to help people get cash into their hands. Now we're at a stage where it's not just cash. We know that people have very specific needs. If it's a replacement truck, for example, the city has donated several of its own vehicles, and now we've asked the Silicon Valley Auto Dealers Association to step up as they have, and they're offering very inexpensive cars, used cars, at a very low price.
So what is the requirement for the first priority from the flood victim, for the flood victim?
Yeah, the highest priority is getting people into stable housing. And that's where the dollars are overwhelmingly being spent, whether it's on vouchers in motels until we can get them into an apartment, or it's on a security deposit or first month's rent. That's the top priority. But there are other needs we know, medical needs, needs relating to vehicles, ensuring we can get children to school, all kinds of needs, and we're trying to do the best we can with our nonprofit partners in addressing those.
Is there any contact for the victims to contact to get help?
Yes, we have contact center here at City Hall where we try to identify what the needs are and then get folks out to the organizations that can help them. We have long encouraged, and we've had hundreds of victims sign up through the programs we've had, and we have more than 300 of those families that have a caseworker through Catholic Charities. If they're already in that program, Catholic Charities should be the organization that they go to with their needs, because those are the people most knowledgeable.
For this experience, do we have any plan to prevent anything similar to this happen in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. Over a month ago, I asked to come back to council to put together a plan to vastly improve our ability to respond, our ability to warn residents, because that's where there was a real failure. And so on March 9th, the council approved the first part of that plan. We're already underway. We've changed the protocols we have for responding when we have the first warning about a flood or a similar type disaster. We are changing the way that we're informing people, and we're doing it sooner. We're also really working with the water district to try to get the water district to change the way it is providing information. And it's important that we get more accurate information from the water district. That's been a huge challenge in the past that has prevented us from being able to identify what neighborhoods might be flooded and when.
For the last question, how the victims get update on how they can get help?
Anyone who does not have a case manager, they should contact Catholic Charities. The phone number there is 1-866-305-0617. If anyone is interested in donating a used car, or perhaps they're a landlord, they have an apartment to let, and they're willing to have us help with the rent, please call Candace Lay from our office here at City Hall. The number there is 408-535-4823. Those are the two numbers that are most important.
Thank you so much for the interview today.
Thank you, Tui. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.